Good evening, everybody. We are on for another night of racing. Hope everybody's doing well this evening. It'll be Assen again tonight, this time for our PS4 guys. So, hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody here in Austin survived all those storms this morning, not too terribly soaked. I personally woke up to more thunder than I care to admit. Whew, it was loud. Looking forward to another good evening of racing, though. We're kind of getting things worked out here. Figuring out what weather we need, etc. Hope everybody's looking forward to another night of it. People telling me it's hurricane weather. I suspect somebody's full of shit. I don't recall too many there. Oba calling for rain. I think he had good luck last time in the rain. He's wanting that again. I think there are a lot of people lying to me in chat right now. All right, as we wait for everybody to join, gonna be another good evening of it. Who can't look forward to race day? It's good stuff. I gotta do 2 of them a week right now. Keeps me busy. And the girls like it too. Oh my god, you commentate E-GP? Wet. That's how it works. Y'all don't know the truth. People just not showing up either. Harden running off on us again? Really? Is that how it's going to work, bro? Ugh, disappointing. Hopefully he'll at least watch, so we can say terrible things about him and he'll hear us. All right, and it looks like everybody has readied up. So we are just about to start qualifying for Moto 3. I'll verify that this is everybody we're expecting to see this evening, and we'll get started. All right, looks like they've confirmed it, and we are just about ready to go. This will be your first qualifying of the evening. Boy, I hope I remember what track it is correctly. All right, we'll transition over and get ready to get started here with qualifying for Moto 3 at Assen on the PS4. And hopefully I didn't break things too badly. All right. Here we go, folks. 10 minutes of qualifying. We'll see what everybody can do. Got folks going ahead and sorting out their suspension and tires and all that fun stuff. Taking their time, just getting it ready. Oh, looks like Oba and Kintal are going to be first out. Reckless out behind them, quick. Vengeance also on the track, and Hines, last one on. So we're going to have about 9 minutes of actual track time with qualifying here for everybody. We'll see how it goes. Of course, this first session is always a little rough for everyone as they get warmed up, if they haven't had an opportunity yet the evening. I know I didn't get to do my stuff until the last second. Maybe these guys are more dedicated than I am. There you have Hines, usually the man to watch in both leagues. He had a great showing last night on Xbox. I think he's been enjoying it over there. He says it's really different for the PlayStation. Maybe physics, maybe control. He isn't quite sure yet, but it's definitely been a good challenge in both places for him. So we'll see what he can do tonight. He's probably had the most recent experience with this track, so that probably will help him. Of course, we also had the view from Oba tonight. Always out there. Always out playing with Hines. These two always at it with each other. Harden decided to be a no-show, unfortunately. So we need to give him lots of shit for that. Everyone that can. Just poke him and tell him he's a bit of a girl for not showing up. Kintal getting out there this evening. Reckless. And then rounding it out is Vengeance. Should be a good, fun night. Oba putting in our first lap of 147.024. Not too bad for a first lap, just getting started. Hines puts out a 146.9 to push things down just a little bit. Barely manages to put it down any further. Reckless coming in at 3.1 seconds behind Hines. Vengeance sitting 12.8 seconds back. He'll just have to get warmed up a bit first. Kintal, meanwhile, looks like his current lap is probably invalidated, so he'll want to either restart or push on through. Personally, I'd restart there. Unless you're just trying to feel the track out. About 6 minutes, 15 seconds remaining in qualifying. Oba looking very nice so far for his second lap. And Hines, both of them showing qualifying best for the first couple of sections. So we'll see how it looks in the end for them both. Hines with a bit of an excuse me way on the outside there. Trying not to interfere with anybody's qualifying laps. Oh, and Vengeance having a bit of an off. 5.5 minutes still remaining though, so he's got plenty of time to get in 2 or 3 more laps. So he should be fine. Oh, and another off. Hines, meanwhile, just about to finish up another lap. We'll see where he winds up. 146.555. I think just a bit faster than his last one. Yep, Oba now just about half a second behind. We'll see if he can make that up. I'm sure, as usual, we'll have some of the Xbox guys watching. Hope they enjoy getting to see it from the spectator's perspective instead of from racing. Zoba looking to finish another lap here. Looks like he just started on his flying. Oh, and a bit of an off by Reckless. Living up to his name there. That's unfortunate. He's still got time, though. We've got just under 4 minutes remaining in qualifying, so plenty of time to get another lap or two in there. Oh, but getting a little loose around turn 4 there. He'll have to dial in suspension and tires a bit. Oh, yep, really bouncy there. It's like his front's getting plenty warm, but his rear, not so much. That was a problem I was seeing yesterday for a lot of the guys on Xbox. They were having trouble getting the rear to hook up, it looked like. We'll see if they can get it resolved over here today. All right, 2 minutes, 50 seconds remaining. As you can see, the field is tightened up considerably. Not doing too bad, definitely bringing those times down. Vengeance, I think, has knocked almost 4 seconds, maybe about 5 seconds off of his time. Reckless at 3.5 seconds, Kintaw at 3.5 seconds, so those two sitting right next to each other for all intents and purposes. Oba still can't close that half-second gap with Hines. Second's still going to put him on the front row. If he can get a good launch, he could get the whole shot off the start of the race. There's one thing I've learned: you don't get to count Oba out. Reckless managing to knock a full second off of his time. Good work. Good qualifying work. Time for one more lap available. And it looks like he's going to go ahead and reset. Not a bad choice there. A little bit of trouble at the beginning of the course, so good idea to take the reset and go ahead and get a valid lap. Hines, meanwhile, finishing up.
Hey, you made a number, Marquise. I dig it.
And he's probably got one more lap to go. Oba in the pits currently trying to figure things out. So we'll keep an eye on what's going out on the track. Kentaw's still solid at that 3.5 seconds behind, but I have noticed that on every lap he's been moving his personal best down on almost every lap I've seen him out there on in qualifying. So really, he's just been kind of warming up. He might have benefited from having a little time before we got started. That might have helped him be a little more warmed up there. Didn't really bring his time down at all by a tremendous amount on that one, but nevertheless, he's doing better through each section on each successive lap. That last section is hard, though, I have to admit. There's a lot of people, especially with the final chicanes, coming into the finish line. That there's a lot of issues going through there. Very technical track, despite having some very fast parts. 10 seconds remaining for qualifying. And, of course, they'll be allowed to finish out whatever lap they're on. But if you haven't started one now, you're too late. Also, any mistakes mean the lap will be canceled. So we'll see what we get for finals here. Looks like Vengeance probably isn't going to get to move his time down any further. That's unfortunate. Kenta, on the other hand, might manage to move time down a bit more. Again, solid improvement on every lap. Hines and Oba each having one section that they're setting qualifying best for. Oh, and Reckless having an off. Unfortunately, that means the lap will be killed right near the end. So it looks like what we've got left at this point is going to be Kenta, Vengeance, I think. Yeah. And there we go. Hines, your pole. Oba barely behind him. Managed to get under half a second behind him. Reckless 2.5 seconds back. Kenta only 2.7 seconds back, so also knocked a full second off of his time almost. Very nice. And Vengeance manages to knock another just about 1.5 seconds, maybe 2 seconds off of his time. Good work in qualifying there. Everybody looking like they're going to be pretty solid tonight. We'll see how it goes. All right, we'll kick over next to allow 1 minute for selection of tires and such. And then we'll start our first race of the evening. Alrighty. Waiting on everybody to be prepped and readied up. Okay, looks like everybody's ready. We can go ahead and let it finish the full minute. I am, after all, the race director. Okay, here we go, folks. This will be your first race of the evening at Assen on the PS4. I almost said Xbox there. I think I'm going to offend some Sony fans. Woo! I don't want to get involved in that argument. Is everybody ready to go? We'll see if we have too much bowling on the front straight like we did yesterday. Hopefully they can keep it clean. Hines taking advantage of that pole and taking off right off the bat, but Oba going ahead and pushing ahead. Oh, look at this. Kenta managing to get himself way out into the hole coming into turn one. Woo! Lot of close racing there. Oh, man. Oba managing to maintain first for the moment. Garrett pushed back. Oh, pushed all the way back to third and now back to fourth. Yep, Hines is stuck back behind the pack, but this gives us an interesting view from... And there we go, Kenta loses it. Oh, man, that was rough. That was really rough. He had such a great start and then just loses it. God, you hate to see that. One of the rougher turns there, turn 5. And so now we've got Hines looking at about a second lead by Oba. And Oba, I think, has decided that this evening he's going to punish Hines for doing so well over on the Xbox lately. So these two are trying to close the distance between them. Meanwhile, we've got plenty of fights. As a matter of fact, the entire field. Hines 2.5 seconds back off of Oba. Reckless 2 seconds back off of Hines. Kentall 1.7 seconds back off of Reckless. And Vengeance about 2.5 seconds back off of Kentall. So the field isn't spread out much at this point. We'll see if they can all keep it together. Reckless now all over.
So bad at braking over here.
All over.
Sorry about that, Matt.
Definitely not wanting to let Kentall get away. And there he goes. Very nice pass. Very clean pass in turn 1. Going ahead and stretching it out in turn 2. Ooh, running a little wide in 3. And Kentall taking advantage of it. Slipping back up under him. But can he hold it? No, it doesn't look like it. Oh, maybe he can. Oh, wow. Very, very nice driving. Excuse me, riding. I know it'll make people angry. By Reckless here. But Kentall not letting him get away with it. As they head through the fast back straight. Well, semi-straight. Ooh. Look at that tail action there. A little scary. Meanwhile, Hines has managed to stretch his lead.
On my tail.
Over Reckless, out to 6 seconds. But Reckless cannot stretch it, and he panics a little bit. Runs wide, Kentall says, no sir, right up under him, and away he goes. These two having a great fight this evening. Hopefully they can keep it up. Oh, Kentall's starting to stretch it out a little bit. It's not going to be easy. He is not going to make it easy for Reckless. Looks like these two are going to have a hell of a fight. Oh no, Kentall way off. Both of them way off in the grass. Reckless can't hold it together, and that is it. He falls way back. Way back. I guess it was just a moment of target fixation, and he panicked once he got out in the grass. Damn shame. Damn shame indeed. He was doing so well. Meanwhile, Hines has managed to close the lead on Oba to about half a second. Not looking too bad so far. Look at this. Trying to close it. Oba going ahead and just getting a better drive out, it looked like there. Maybe. Maybe he'll manage to keep the lead. Yep, he manages to put another 0.2 seconds onto the lead. So he had a solid drive out of 5. Coming into 6. 7 is always tricky here. It is really easy to blow this turn, and both of them swing very wide. But nobody winded up wrecking. They're just having to really stick to it. Look at this. Coming into 9, and you can see Oba has moments where he manages to stretch out over Hines, but he can't make it stick, and Hines can't seem to completely catch him yet. But he did knock almost a second off the time Oba was ahead of him. So maybe Hines can make that happen. We'll see. As they come into 16, 17, 18, through the last chicanes coming into the finish line, we are starting lap number 4. Oba doing a wonderful job through that last section, managing to put it out to 1.3 seconds ahead of Hines, but then swinging very wide coming out of turn 1. We'll see what happens there. Meanwhile, the rest of our field, Kentall has fallen 15 seconds back off of Hines. That's one thing I'm noticing about this track. Your leaders can get way out ahead of everybody. It's such a weird combination of being insanely fast, yet really technical at a lot of points. As we are looking at Lap number 4, and Hines still not able to catch Oba. I'm not sure what's going on there. I'd expect him to have him by now. Looks like Oba really worked on Assen and has it down for this evening. Doing a very solid job, staying very consistent and keeping really good lap times. Hines back out to 1.5 seconds behind him. This is an Oba that we saw earlier on in the season, and he appears to be back for this track. Looking very solid. I'd suspect Hines having a bit of a flashback of last night when he was trying to follow Voss. Oh, and Oba cutting really hard there. I don't know what to say to that one. All right, and you can see Hines there managing to push way up on Oba. Coming into 4 as we are on lap 5. This is not over yet. Hines not about to let him win this easily. There he is, passes Oba nicely. Look at this. Hines, meanwhile, pushing really hard to stay out ahead of Oba now. Only 0.3 seconds separating these two. Ooh, don't make any mistakes now. Yeah, this is one of those fights. Oh, and Oba having a little bit of shake, winding up off the track there. Man, that is risky. And Hines takes advantage of it and just continues hammering his way around the track. You can see here the view off the tail of Hines, with Oba trying to close that distance, but he can't afford any more mistakes at this point. He was having great laps earlier. Hopefully he can close this distance and keep Hines from getting away from him. Look at that. Hines very solid, but Oba continuing to catch him. It looks like Oba probably has a little better gearing for this. Pushing through the fast sections. And Kintaw goes down, our 3rd place. Reckless passes him while he's down. That might cost him the podium for the evening. Meanwhile, Oba managing to close the distance, but we'll see what the actual time difference looks like. Ooh, Hines swinging wide. Oba coming up under him, almost getting the pass. Very good try by Oba. And it is the final lap, so he had better figure out something if he's going to do something soon. As they head through the fast back straight. Here he goes, turn 7, hard turn. Look at Oba, just aggressive as hell. Can't manage, wait, no, he manages to make it stick. I'll be a little bit off the track, pretty much in the green, and manages to get it. Look at this, ooh. Hines with a bit of a bump. We're looking at it here from Hines' perspective. Look at this. This is going to be a rough finish. Both of these guys wanting first tonight as we come through 12, through 13, 14, then the long sweeper, and finally into the chicanes before the finish line. But Oba having a better line through 15. And there you go.
I got you on penalties for how much you fucking cut the corner.
Hines making comments about how much corner cutting Oba had there. He did have a lot. Meanwhile, Reckless just about to finish up in 3rd thanks to that mistake by Kintaw. And there we go. There's his 3rd place finish. He'll take the podium for Moto 3 there. can see with penalties there. Oba still, despite the penalties, barely coming in ahead of Hines. Just barely. Man, oh man. What a race. All right. There's your Moto 3 for the evening. Your podium being Oba, Hines, and Reckless. And next up, we'll have Moto 2 on the PS4 at Assen. Thanks for joining us for the evening. All right, folks, we are just about to start Moto 2 for the evening. It looks like everybody has readied up. And I think this is about ready to go. As we are ready to start here. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Glad to have you with us this evening. As always, I'll be trying to keep an eye on chat while keeping an eye on everything else I have to watch here. And I am pretty sure that any Dutch friends that I have would be absolutely horrified by how I pronounce the name of this track. My Dutch skills are absolutely horrendous. You don't want to hear me try to speak that language. I don't speak very good swamp German. Hope everybody is enjoying it this evening. That was actually a pretty good fight there. I know a couple of the guys had a bit of a rough time. Hopefully they can get her together for our second round here. Moto 2 at Assen on the PS4. All right, we are just about loaded and ready to start here. And here we go. Ten minutes of qualifying for Moto 2. Last night on the Xbox. Man, Moto 2 was some good action to watch. Oh no! Reckless right off the bat. Get those wrecks out of the way, man. Just get them out of the way on that first lap. There you go. Throw that shit across the track a couple of times. Yard sail the primary bike and pull out your backup and keep going. Best way to handle those. As Oba, just flying around the outside, deciding, hey, I'm going to go ahead and slip on out here. I'm going to sneak around you while you take your time with this. Boy, that bright pink he runs with is noticeable, ain't it? Oh, Reckless having a bit of a rough time, and Oba flying off as well. Everybody trying to get themselves sorted here. Meanwhile, Vengeance out on the track. We'll see what he can manage to do. Hopefully he can have a little better run than he had last round. Kenta also, during our last race, came very close to taking third, but mistake late in the race just cost him that third place slot. Reckless was just waiting for the opportunity. Good work on his part. I got to give him credit. Again, tricky part of this track. It has some very, 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 very tight, twisty technical sections on either end. But then even when you get in the straightaway, there's a couple of little kinks in it that, despite hauling ass, you still have to make sure to make them correctly. It's hard to keep a line. Reckless just about to finish up our first lap. Despite bending it a couple of times, 7.5 minutes remaining in qualifying. 149.7. Time will likely get moved down.
Was faster than that. Oh my god.
Hines just about to finish his first lap. 139.561. Setting the bar where everybody has to do a little work to catch up to him first thing in the evening. Oba and Kenta yet to turn in laps as we are 6:45 remaining. Kenta 4.9 seconds, so just about 5 seconds off of Hines. I'm sure, like the last qualifying, he will tighten that up as he goes along. Vengeance at 8.8 seconds behind the lead, and Reckless sitting 10.19 seconds behind. He'll need to go ahead and speed it up a little bit. Oh no! Kenta coming up under Oba and just throws himself off the track. Hopefully that won't derail Oba too much on his attempt at a lap. 6 minutes remaining. Reckless having another off, unfortunately. That sucks. Oba, 1.9 seconds off of Hines on his last lap. We'll see if he can bring that time down at all this time. Vengeance, meanwhile, putting himself at 8.9 seconds behind the lead, so knocking over a second off of his time. Good work there. Oba setting a personal best for the third section, but outside of that, I don't think he's going to knock much more time off on this lap, and that one will probably disqualify the lap there, even if he was low enough. Yep. Little more work and he can get it down, so he's going to take another flying lap for that. Not a bad choice. Hines, meanwhile, not looking too impressive through the first section versus his previous time. Ditto for the second section. I don't think on this lap he's going to manage to knock much time off. But he'll probably just warm up a little more and get himself sorted. No big deal. Oh! I switched to Kentall right as he has another unfortunate off there. As Vengeance working on trying to knock some more time off, and you can see there through both sections so far, he has managed to improve over his personal time. Third section as well, so he's having a good lap. Not going to set the record for the entire group, but definitely improving on himself, and frankly, your worst opponent out on the track is usually you. So that's always an opponent to beat. There you go. Manages to knock another second and a half off his time. Good work. Putting him 6.8 seconds down from the lead. And almost a second ahead of Reckless. Good run. Hines, meanwhile, stopping in. Oh, no! Vengeance goes down. 3 minutes remaining. Probably smart at this point to go ahead and take another flying lap. Looks like he's going to stop in and do some adjustments there. As we can see, Oba working on setting himself another lap time. First section sets a group best. Second section, personal best, but it's going to depend on how good that first section was, if this lap can manage to catch him up to Hines. Ooh, letting that tail get nice and loose. It's definitely warming up faster than it did in Moto 3. A little bit off in the grass there, way outside of the turn. Wow. On 13, he was way out there. 14, coming into 15. And then coming into those hard chicanes. This is always the rough part of the course. And there he is. What's he get? 139.762. That still puts him almost 0.3 seconds off of Hines, but he is within spitting distance, and with how well he did in the last race, I think he'll be fine on this one. 1 minute and 45 remaining in qualifying. Hines, meanwhile, working on finishing up another lap himself. I thought maybe he had gone ahead and decided to take it easy, but I guess he's decided he wants to take one more shot at it. Setting group best through every section and manages to bring it down to a 139.1. Putting more pressure on Oba. Now 0.6 down. Reckless, meanwhile, setting 2 personal bests, 3 personal bests so far. Not looking bad. We'll see what he can do with it. Kentall holding at 5.4 even off of the lead. Reckless puts himself at 4.5 seconds. Doing a decent lap there. Definitely everybody slowly improving throughout qualifying. Always a good sign to see. You can see over here 2 very solid sections for first and second. And third, not so impressive. And fourth, oh, so very close to Hines. Only 0.1 seconds off of him. As we have 10 seconds remaining in qualifying, of course, they'll get to finish out the lap, so long as they have no wrecks or invalidations. And Oba swinging very wide. We'll see if he can actually finish this one. Don't think he's going to set too good a record swinging that wide. Reckless, meanwhile, setting personal best for the first 2 sections. We'll see what he can do with this last one. A little bit loose on that tail there. And Oba having it off. That'll invalidate his lap. Meanwhile, again, another little tail slide coming out of Reckless. He is pushing that rear tire for everything it's got. He's probably going to need to switch tires before he starts the actual race, because his front is pretty much cooked at this point. Coming into 15, very, very wide, but not a bad line to have. Yep, so long as you've got this line up for 16. And there it is. That'll work. 17, 18, tail all over the place. And a 144.388.
Tires are gone. Oh my gosh.
Yep, and you can hear him there making the comment, those tires are toast. Hines, meanwhile, following Oba through one last lap here. And bumping the time down again. Just kind of making sure Oba can't get that pole. 138.854. Very solid lap by Hines. Oba not far off of him, though, and with how the last race went, Hines is not guaranteed to win this. So there you go. Hines, Oba, and Reckless on your front row. Kintaw and Vengeance rounding out your second row. And here we go for the actual race at Assen on the PS4. As we take a minute and wait for everybody to get ready. Hope everybody watching is enjoying it. With any luck, Moto 2 will be crazy. Let's see here. Hines asking if we're okay with restarting Moto 2. Sure. Oh, okay. We do have a racer joining. We will decide what we're going to do here. All right, we'll be doing a 5-minute qualifying. Always good to pick up another racer. I never complain about that. I'll go ahead and get that set up. Sorry, folks, that'll create a bit of a delay, but having more people always makes for a more exciting race. So I'm sure y'all won't mind. I need to go ahead and just change the times when I show them on the standby screens to be ish. Whatever the time is, 7-ish, 8-ish. Just for moments like this, when we have our little changes. right, as we wait for everybody to get things sorted. Let's see here. Our new addition. Chash, is that who that is? Is that somebody I need to give some shit to? All right, as it's looking like everybody's ready here, I think we have everyone. Yes. Oba commenting, Garrett will send it to the moon. Why the hell not? Sounds like fun to me. Alrighty, we have got a 5-minute qualifying, so we'll be redoing qualifying here. Everybody that's already been in will have a little bit of time to get a little more warm-up time in there. Here we go. Who doesn't want a little more racing? Moto2 is always the really competitive league, too. You don't get bike differences anymore. Alrighty, here we go. We'll have another 5 minutes of qualifying. Hope everybody hurries up and gets it sorted quick. You haven't got long. Ha ha! Hurry out onto that track, guys. Alrighty. This it looks like Oba, Kenta, and Reckless quickly out onto the track. Ooh. Oba having to warm up that rear that he's got there. Looking like he's determined to... Oh, little bit of clashing between him and Kenta here. Come on, boys, it's just qualifying. Yep, and it looks like Oba gonna go ahead and take the restart there. Reckless getting a kick out of what he's seeing up there. Our newbie's solid. I haven't gotten clear exactly who this is. As the shit talk on chat, Hines making it clear he plans to send it to Oba's mom's house. Solid, meanwhile, very, very wide. Coming through the back straight. Assen, a very rough track to join the series at. So far, this has seemed like one of those tracks that it either clicks for you or you're going to get your ass kicked by it. Not a bad quality, though. Kind of like a track that challenges people. Kenta probably going to be the first one to put down a lap. 146, and Reckless putting in a 143.5. As we are 2.5 minutes remaining in our short qualifying. Hines putting down a 139.3. Putting him 6.5 seconds ahead of Kenta. 6.1 seconds ahead of Vengeance. Reckless sitting 4.1 seconds back off of it. And Oba just about to finish his first lap. We'll see if he can beat Garrett to his mom's house. Oh, by 0.155 seconds, he fails to catch up. Sorry, Oba, looks like your mom's in trouble. As Hines looking to go ahead and put in probably another 2 laps before we're done with qualifying. Everybody looking solid though here. It looks like the warm-up time for the folks that were already in has worked. You can see they're already 6 seconds or less behind the lead. And looking very solid, keeping things under good control here. Yep, there you go. Kenta and Reckless both oh my God! Reckless tapping the rear of Kenta, finding himself just thrown off the track. 45 seconds remaining though. So they can still get a restart in. They'll probably get as many laps as they would have. That would not be a bad time to restart if you need to. 139.399 from Hines. So Oba seeing if he can set a slightly better lap. We'll see what we get here. Doesn't look. Oh, no. Yep, Hines is getting back out there. So he'll have a shot at one more lap. Oba, 2 seconds, or 2 sections of qualifying best. Third, he sets a personal, but not a qualifying best. We'll see what he winds up with for the final here. That last section is the, yep. That last section is always the prover. 0.086 seconds behind Hines. He's basically on him. If he can keep it that solid, he'll be fine in the actual race. Meanwhile, Solid, our last-minute addition, Kier, I believe was the name that Hines threw us. Showing 11 seconds behind, probably just cold. For the simple fact that it hasn't had the warm-up time most of the guys in the field have. Reckless, unfortunately, having an off. We are past qualifying time at this point, so that'll invalidate his lap. Same for Vengeance, it looks like. Hines, meanwhile, deciding he's going to get out there and try one more time to give Oba hell. Oba clearly not letting up. Reckless also still out there, but like I said, it looks like his lap was invalidated. Yep, the system has put him into autopilot. Kenta and Solid having decent laps meanwhile. We'll see what they get. We'll see if they can move their times down at all. That last section, though, God, it's rough. Hines moved down to 139 even. That's going to give him pole. Oba, 139.4. Reckless, 141.5. 2.5 seconds off of Oba. Kenta, or excuse me, 2.5 seconds off of Hines. Not looking too bad there. Even our newbie is only 10 seconds behind the rest of the pack. So as he gets warmed up, we'll see. Are they? Yeah, I figured there was some autopilot going on. Yep. Thought that's what I was seeing. All right. So here we go. This will actually, this time, I swear, I promise, this will be your Moto 2 race for the evening on PS4 at Assen. We'll be waiting 1 minute for everybody to get everything sorted. Hope everybody's enjoying it. Entertaining evening so far. First Moto 3 race was actually pretty decent, so we'll see what they can do for Moto 2. Like I said, it was really competitive yesterday on the Xbox, so hopefully we'll get the same result here. And it looks like we are just about ready. Give our latecomer just a tiny bit more time, and we'll get started. Alrighty, there he goes. He's readied up. We're going to go ahead and start. And this will be your Moto 2 race for the evening at Assen on the PS4. Now we're going to see that mom challenge between Oba and Hines play out. We'll see how it looks for the actual race. And off Hines goes. Vengeance right off the line, having a bit of an off. Not sure what happened there. Woo-hoo-hoo! Oba slipping up under Hines. Hines being forced way out in turn 1. And in turn 2. A lot of the field swinging wide on turn 2. Oh, Hines with a very nice pass. I believe that was through 4. Now coming into 5. The very tight hairpin manages to hold it ahead of Oba. Look at this. Oba closing the distance. Through the fast section. There he goes. Hard on the brakes into 7. Oba and Hines trading back and forth. We'll see if Oba... Oh, that tail just all over the place. Kenta, unfortunately, having it off as well. We'll see how the rest of the field is shaking out right now. Kenta 2.5 seconds back off of Oba. Reckless only half a second back off of him. Solid. A little slow in qualifying, but now only 3.2 seconds back off of Reckless. He may find himself right in the middle of the pack. Oba and Hines, though, hard at it here up front. Neither of them giving the other an easy time. As we're just about to finish our first lap. Here it goes. Boom, Hines setting a 143.1 right off the line. Not too bad. From a standing start, that is not shabby at all. But Oba just can't manage to close it. He's trying. I noticed earlier his gearing set up where he's probably doing better in the fast sections. But I'm not sure what he's done for the slow bits. As we come into turn 5, trying to slip in there, but Hines just having a slightly better drive out. Meanwhile, Reckless passing up Kenta. Now 7 seconds back. Look at Oba trying to slip up under Hines. Can't quite do it. Has to swing wide, and Hines takes advantage of it. Tries to stretch out his lead some. Good defensive riding by Hines. Oba trying to be aggressive on the brakes again. Coming into 9. Can't make it happen. He's getting close. He just can't quite do it. Here we go on the drive out from 10. And 11. Oh, Hines managing to stretch it out on Oba. It's looking like Oba's got himself set up for the fast parts of the track, but Hines is better set up for slow. So it's going to be rough to close that distance as they come into the chicanes. I suspect Hines is going to really stretch it out here. Yep, there he goes, flying out ahead. A 138.5. Vengeance trading was solid. Oh man, a lot of trading happening further back in the pack. Reckless and Kental hard at it with each other. And that race still not decided. Vengeance unfortunately falling down again. That is rough. It's going to be hard for him and Solid to get up into spitting distance of fourth, much less third. That's going to be hard. Meanwhile, Hines and Oba up front having a solid fight with each other. Hines, though, starting to stretch it out to 0.7 seconds now. Woo, it's going to be hard to close that kind of distance. Kental and Reckless continuing to fight over third. Oh no! Oba goes down! Damn, that's going to be rough with how consistent Hines is. It'll be down to Hines making a mistake. Let's take a look back at that fight for third. Look at this mess right here. Oh, Kental with a brilliant slip up under. Can he stay into... Oh no! Cuts Reckless off and off he goes. Damn, what a rough landing. I almost feel bad for Reckless on that one, except that Kental just did a great job of reclaiming the line. That was brutal. And things stretch out a little more. As we are on lap 4 of 6 of the Moto2 race at Assen on PS4. It's actually a little surprising it's stretched out this much. Normally Moto2, man, this is where you're going to get the close race. I guess we've just had some mistakes. That's really what it's been down to. Hines way out there in front. Almost 5 seconds ahead of Oba. Oba managing to close the distance a little bit, so not looking too bad. Kental sitting 14 seconds back off of Oba. We'll see if they can close that distance at all. Meanwhile, Reckless coming back to Kental for some revenge. And he definitely looks like he could close that distance. He definitely wants that third place slot. We'll see if he can do it. Who knows? It could be anybody's point. Oh, a little bit of tail sliding action there. Also keep in mind we are showing penalties on in there of about 0.86 seconds. So if he wants to make that pass and keep third, he's going to have to really get ahead. He can't be barely out ahead.
Bike does not want to turn.
Very, very wide. Looking like he's probably not getting quite enough heat into that rear tire. That's a mistake I've seen a lot of folks making this week.
So like 35%. 130. I'm trying to use my front brake the whole time.
Meanwhile, we are on lap 5. Oba trying like hell to catch. Oh, you can see there, almost losing the tail, trying to catch up to Hines. Hines 5.2 seconds ahead of Oba. Vengeance having an off. Damn, that's too bad. And Reckless having an off now. Oh, wow, that may give Kental the opportunity to just nail in his lead. 6.7 seconds ahead of Reckless, according to last measurement. Reckless having another off. We are on lap 5 of 6. Oba, if he's going to do something, he needs to do it now. Because that's over 5 seconds he has to make up. Over 6 seconds now. Hines just flying ahead. Man, there have just been a lot of mistakes this race, unfortunately. And it has cost folks some time. As we will see what they can do here. Man, I have no idea what's going to happen. There's been so many weird moments of people just having offs and wrecks. Then again, with how much the race has gotten stretched out at this point, even with a wreck or two, it's going to be hard for it to change on this final lap. As you can see there, Hines making his way around. Yep, solidly through the straight. Going through 9, excuse me. Still trying to get the hang of everything on this track. Going into 10, he's looking really good, looking very solid and staying consistent. And this, I've noticed, this is what gives Hines the ability to do what he can do in this, is the fact that he's consistent. He's not a ton faster than anybody else. He's just a lot more consistent, and that's what gives him the ability to win races. And here he comes through the final chicanes, coming across the finish line and deciding to slow down and pop a big old wheelie. And there he goes. Hines 13 seconds ahead of Oba finishing. And Kenta another 18 seconds back off of that. Hines just dominating that race. Moto2 not being as competitive as it was last night, unfortunately. But that being said, once everybody spread out, there weren't too many mistakes. It was just a case of Hines just being way, way, way fast and consistent compared to the rest of the field. So there we go. Hines, Oba, and Kenta, your first, second, third places. You notice, look at your lap times there. They weren't tremendously off. It's just, you got to have that consistency. That's how it goes. And after penalties applied, there you are. Look at that, Hines. His fastest lap was only 0.3 seconds ahead of Oba. Oba just making mistakes, and it cost him, unfortunately. So that'll lead us into qualifying for GP. We're going to take a brief break, and we'll be back for the last race of the evening. We'll start qualifying for MotoGP at Assen on the PS4. Alrighty, folks, we are just about back to start qualifying for GP for the evening. And there we are. It looks like everybody is ready. Let's go ahead and get it done. Hope everybody's enjoying it as we get ready to start our last class of the evening. Boy, I should put a faster hard drive in this thing. Just to keep from getting bored waiting on loading times. Alrighty. Here we are. Qualifying for GP is starting now. We wait on everybody to get things sorted out and get ready to get out there on the track. Almost started to wonder if we need to consider an abbreviated season, because when real GP starts up, who knows if people are still going to watch us. Sad. Like I've told people, maybe come winter, we'll do some more of this. It'll be really fun. As Kento is our first out there on the track, pushing one of them Honda GP bikes around. And we'll see how he can do. Oba going ahead and getting a wreck out of the way early, as we have 8.5 minutes remaining in qualifying. Kenta looking really solid. The last couple of rounds have clearly helped him get his laps solid. We'll see if he's doing well at the front of the pack. But oh no, I thought he was doing great, and then he has an off. I'm sorry for cursing your lap. I apologize profusely. That had to have been my fault. Meanwhile, Hines passing right up under Vengeance. Excuse me, I'm doing my qualifying lap. So it looks like Hines might wind up setting our first lap for the evening. We'll see what he winds up with here. Looking good through the chicanes. And that's a 133.047. Vengeance with a 138? Yes, 138.7. So he'll have to work to knock that time down some more. It's got him second for now, but I suspect Oba might have something up his sleeve. 7 minutes remaining in qualifying. And there we go. Oba, 2.8 seconds off of Hines. It's not as close as he's been earlier. It's going to take him a moment to warm up for GP, it looks like. Tell you what, this class is always a different beast, especially coming in from Moto 2. Oba having an off again. 6.5 minutes remaining, though, so he's got plenty of time to put down some more laps. That's 3 laps easy, possibly 4 if you're on it correctly. Kenta, meanwhile, about to finish his first lap. There he goes, 5.5 seconds off of the front. Putting him 0.3 seconds ahead of Vengeance, who is about to finish his second lap. And there you go, Hines. And a 132.296. Vengeance at a 5.586. Hines, maybe he's about to settle in for some adjustments. I'm not quite sure what he's doing here. Or maybe he's just popping in to tail people. Yeah, this looks like he has been requested to play some. Ooh. Some loose tail action there from Kintal. I think that's who that was. Oh, no, that might have been Vengeance. Yeah, I think it was. Vengeance having a bit of an off. Oba now 3.5 seconds behind Hines. It may be hard to get it together. The GP bikes on this track seem really particularly rough because of how technical the technical sections are. And then how much speed you have to carry in between. It's kind of brutal. Oh, but just about to finish up another lap. We have just under 4 minutes remaining in qualifying. There we go. Oba knocking almost another 1.5 seconds off of his time. Now 1.7 seconds behind Hines. Solid, meanwhile, having a little trouble putting together a lap that's going to beat his last one there. Reckless hasn't quite finished a lap yet, but he's got time for at least a couple more. We'll see what he can do with it. Yeah, GP bikes on this track are particularly difficult to get around it. Hell, they're noisy, untamed beasts on almost any track. Very, very wide coming into the straight. Or, excuse me, coming into 14. Oh, bit of a mistake. We'll see if it gives him. Yep. Reckless not able to put a lap on the board yet. 2 minutes, 20 seconds remaining in qualifying. He needs to go ahead and get it done. Meanwhile, Oba has knocked the lead that Hines has down to 1.480 seconds. Kinto's still 4.5 seconds off of Hines. Vengeance 5.5 seconds back. 2 minutes remaining in qualifying for GP. Oh, careful there, boys. No contact during qualifying. There's no point to it. It ain't the actual race. It's Kinton Vengeance. Look at this mess right here. Kinton just thrown off. 1.5 minutes remaining, though, in qualifying, so he can probably get in one more lap there. Yep, looks like he decided to restart. Solid, our late ad. it goes at 11.5 seconds behind the lead. It is tricky to make these GP bikes work. Meanwhile, Reckless still trying to get himself a finished lap. Come on, bud, you can do it. Hines putting down a 132.296. Deciding he wants to make it difficult to catch up to him. Unfortunately, Oba not able to put in another lap that gets any lower. 1.480 behind Hines. I think he went ahead and took the reset. 30 seconds remaining in qualifying. If you're not happy with your current lap, or if you have had a problem at this point, reset it and roll again, because you're not going to get much more time. Vengeance, meanwhile, 2 solid personal sections. The third section not impressive, but that fourth is rough for everybody. We'll see what he can do through there. He doesn't manage to move it down. One more lap available to him. Solid, meanwhile, I think he's going to find himself in a situation where this is going to be his last lap. Hines, meanwhile, looking like he's not going to be able to put a harder lap on the board. And Oba, I think he's going to be maybe given the opportunity to finish this lap. Oh, no, he's on autopilot. So that was all he's got. Oba not going to move it down any further. Hines, I think, unable to move it down any further as well. In fact, I'm not quite sure what he's doing. There he goes, a little drive through the pits. What a dick. Decides not to finish it. Goes for that realistic drive into the pits. Meanwhile, Reckless, we'll see if he can finally finish himself up a lap here. These GP bikes are just... You look at them and you go, why can't you fucking do it? And then you try to play this game and the GP bikes are just awful. Awful to get used to. All right, so there you go. Hines, Oba, and Kento are going to be your front row. Vengeance, Reckless, and Solid rounding out your second row. So there you are. And next we'll head on. Oh, wait. Why did I just see Kento exiting? Because he exited. All right, we'll see what's going on there. Give me just a moment here, folks, to get that sorted. All right, looks like we're going to have to restart the lobby. All right, we're going to have to restart with a 5-minute qual. That's going to make tonight a little longer than expected. Sorry about that, folks. We just had a bit of a glitch. Not quite sure what happened there. All right. ahead and rebuild the match real quick. Sorry about that, folks. Man, couple of races where we had to reset things this evening. That's unfortunate and annoying. Alrighty, as we wait for everybody to get in here, we'll see if... What was we had? I guess we have Vengeance? No. Remember who exactly it was we just had drop out. But we will go ahead and give him another shot. That was obnoxious. There we go, it's Kento. All right. And we can get everybody to ready up. We'll give it another try. Sorry about that, folks. Sometimes, computers mess up. I know it's hard to believe, but it is in fact true. Waiting on Reckless to finish up whatever he's doing there. We'll see what we're waiting on here. All right, looks like we got everybody ready. And this will be it this time. Hopefully. We're about half an hour behind at this point, so... Did it just kick somebody again? I think it just kicked solid. Well, we'll just have to edit this down after the fact. Looks like we're going to have to try this again, folks. Having nothing but bad luck this evening, just trying to start the GP race. All right, give us a bit of a standby. We're just having bad luck. All right, give us just a moment to get everybody resorted, and apparently Josh Harden has decided he wants to race in GP this evening. So we'll do another 5-minute qualification. Hopefully we'll actually get to finish the race this time. Alrighty, as we wait for everybody to get in, I think we're trying to re-add everybody. Gonna take just a moment to get the race rebuilt and get our extra racer in here. So I suppose that's one positive to having a bit of a delay this evening, couple of delays, is we do get an extra racer. And as much as I give him shit, I am glad to see Harden get in here with us. And waiting just a moment longer, looks like we've got everybody added. We're just waiting on them to go ahead and get their bike selected, get readied up. Super close. All right. There we go. Looks like everybody's ready. I'm going to go ahead and get things started here. It'll be a 5-minute qualifying again. And then we'll run our last race of the evening. I super double mega promise this time. Anybody gets kicked this time, I'm going to be at the point of not caring. We're going to run the race. Stop using McDonald's Wi-Fi. Because at some point I have to make myself some dinner. And I will probably edit this later in order to make sure everybody can actually get in and see it. Wasting people's time is not a good idea, so here we go, folks. Looks like we are finally going to go ahead and run the GP qualifying. Hopefully this will be the actual qualifying. It's going to be 5 minutes again. Everybody getting ready. folks out on the track already. It looks like Harden and Kintal are already out there. Good God, I wish the way they ordered racers in the race director made sense. Whatever, who cares? Vengeance and Kintal, first ones out on the track. And Vengeance, unfortunately, having an off early on, but you want to get it out of the way fast. 3 minutes, 50 some odd seconds remaining, and there goes Kintal. That is unfortunate. Few little rough moments there already as everybody tries to get through qualifying. And there we are, Harden, our latecomer. Ooh, is Reckless having a bit of an off? Oh, very wide. Harden as he tries to get it sorted out. Hines not very far behind him. Vengeance as well. 2 minutes, 30 seconds remaining in qualifying. As Harden just about to set his first lap here and just cuts the living hell out of the final chicanes. And that disqualified him from setting a lap, so he's going to have to haul ass to get himself another couple of laps in. Hines, meanwhile, setting a 132.812. Vengeance, 17.6 seconds off of that. I know he's faster than that. Just having a rough lap. Reckless, meanwhile, showing a penalty on his lap. I don't think he's going to get to finish that one. He might want to take the reset. 1 minute and 45 seconds remaining in our third qualifying stage. Kintal setting second at 4.705 seconds. Oh, is Harden having another off there? That's rough. Oba, meanwhile, has not yet set a lap, but just about to finish the chicanes. And there you are, 1.5 seconds off of Hines. That gives him the front row with him just over a minute remaining in qualifying. Kintal sitting in third. And that's your front row for the moment, unless somebody else can go ahead and turn in a better lap. We'll see what happens. Ooh, Harden with another off. We'll see if he can finish a lap. He's got 45 seconds remaining. Man, Hines moves it down to 132.031, putting Oba 2.319 seconds behind. Kintal is showing a penalty on that current lap. I don't think he's going to get to finish that one out. 17 seconds remaining. Oba, meanwhile, not even turning down personal best for any section that I can see. I don't think he's going to manage to catch up to Hines' time. Meanwhile, Reckless and Harden haven't quite yet set a lap, and Oba off off, and seeing as its qualifying time is already over, that'll cut him out of the possibility of setting another time right there at the finish line, unfortunately. So at this point, we're waiting on Solid, Reckless, and Harden to finish their times, and it looks like Reckless had a disqual, so at this point, it's just Solid and Harden. Oh, and I guess Kintaw, yeah, Kintaw as well, working on his last lap. Hines, meanwhile, puts it down to a 1:31.578 for the time to beat. Don't think we're going to get anybody beating that. It sure doesn't look like it. Oba commenting to me that I noticed earlier, food is for the weak. You don't need food, Gurren. That is a lie. I very much like food and need food. Don't let anyone fool you. I am not just a voice that exists for races. But you might be convinced otherwise. Hines sitting in first, Oba sitting in second. Harden only gets one complete lap, but puts himself in third. That puts him on the front row. Kintaw, Solid, and Vengeance going to be your second row. Reckless back on the third row. All right, here we go. We'll see if we actually get to finish a match this time, or if the game will mysteriously kick one of our racers out again for reasons, just because. Alrighty, as we're going to go ahead and wait a minute for everybody to get things sorted out here. This will be our last race of the evening. Nobody got kicked out the moment we tried to start it, so I suspect we might actually get to do the race this time. Who knows, though? I may be asking too much. There we are, everybody looking readied up. So here we go. This will be your last race of the evening. MotoGP at Assen on the PS4. So long as the game doesn't mysteriously kick people. Please don't kick people anymore, you stupid, stupid game. And here we go. Hines off. Really shooting out of the gate there. Coming into turn one, looking like he's got it out ahead of everybody. Kintaw flying off the track in turn one. Hines, a very nice line out through turn 2, 3, 4. Looking very good indeed. Oba, meanwhile, trying to catch up to him. Reckless, unfortunately, having an off there early. Harden moving his way up into fifth. Then having a bit of a wreck, and that'll shuffle the back of the pack again. Vengeance passing him. Oof. What a rough moment. Oba, meanwhile, once again finding himself following Hines. Oh, look at that tail flying out. Reckless, meanwhile, passing Harden. Vengeance passing Kintaw. Harden passing Reckless. Kintaw passing Solid. Boy, the back of the pack is having a lot of fights for positioning. You can see them coming around on Oba's minimap, but they are far enough back at this point that it would require some massive mistakes by Hines and Oba. But look at Hines. Oh, man! And Oba Rex Hines just takes off. He was already stretching it out to almost 2 seconds when that wreck happened. I don't think Oba is going to get a look at Hines' rear tire. until the race is over if Hines keeps being as consistent as he's been. What a rough start there. Hines slowing down a bit, I suspect just looking for some competition this time. And Oba just low sides it in turn 5 as the rest of the pack starts to catch up to him. You can see their vengeance at this point, and Kintaw have passed Oba as he has another bit of an off. Oba just having a rough race. I'm not sure what's going on here. He was decent qualifying, but I guess having to do several qualifyings just took it out of him. Ooh. Look at these messes. As we are on the second lap, Kentaw having another bit of an off. Harden going ahead and taking advantage of it and passing him. Oh, and Oba has another off. That is just rough. Leaving Vengeance in second for the moment. What an unpredictable GP race this evening. Everybody just kind of all over the place. Hard for anyone to get consistency. But then again, we've had a couple of weird things happen, and it's just been goofy in general. So here we are. You can see from fourth on down, a second or two separating everybody. Second, third, only 3 seconds off of each one. This could be close. We'll see what happens here. Reckless having another off, unfortunately. Already at the back of the pack, so that's just going to cost him time off the rear. And Harden having another off, unfortunately. Man, a lot of wrecks in GP this evening. But again, this is a really challenging track. There is a lot of fast and a lot of technical. It's short, but it's a beatdown the entire way around. Reckless with another off. Already 15 seconds behind. I think that's going to put him out of the chances for almost anything in the way of placing that matters. Vengeance, meanwhile, still trying to chase down Hines. We'll see if he can do it. He's 1.9 seconds off. Oba, meanwhile, still 3.4 seconds back off of Vengeance. That's a bit of a surprise with his performance earlier in the evening. We'll see if he can close it up. Harden sitting barely a second off of Kintaw. You can see that battle there. Right there, the fight for fourth. Ooh, and look at that pass. Very nice. as Harden takes fourth and tries to bear down on Oba for third. Vengeance having a little trouble keeping it together coming through the chicanes. Nobody making this an easy race. All right. We are on our 5th lap for GP here. Let's see what we got going. Oba closing hard on Vengeance. We'll see if he can get into that 2nd place slot as they both fall back further off of Hines. Meanwhile, Harden finds himself 7.2 seconds off of 3rd. It's going to take him a lot to get up onto the podium. He's going to have to really get to it. Really wide swing by Vengeance there. Maybe he'll get himself a 2nd place, though, if he can hold on to it. It's becoming less and less about trying to beat Hines and more about just trying to stay ahead of Oba. But Oba has decided, no, it'll be mine. Oh, my! Oh, and both of them go flying out towards the wall. Oba starts up again behind Vengeance thanks to that wreck. Reckless, unfortunately, out again. Harden still... Oh, he's still in 4th, but he has closed the distance. Look at this. There it is, the penultimate lap, 6 out of 7. 2nd is 12 seconds back off of Hines, but the fight for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th is right on top of each other. And look at this. Little tiny bumps here and there. Oh my. Vengeance finds himself forced back to 4th. Oba pushes up into 2nd. Hines holding 1st by 13 seconds, 14 almost seconds at this point. We'll see if Oba can close that distance. Vengeance has lost that 2nd he held most of the race. Harden, meanwhile, right in between them. He's got that 3rd place slot right now. Vengeance trying to reclaim 3rd. Man, that was an interesting turn of events, wasn't it? And Vengeance way outside. I think that's going to leave him pretty much out of the running as they turn around and head back towards the other end of the track. Kental having an off. That's going to cost him the chance at 4th. We are on the final lap at this point. Hines 15 seconds ahead of the rest of the pack. But 2nd, 3rd, and 4th still up in the air. Vengeance has fallen 3.3 seconds back. But final lap, if there are any mistakes from Harden, Vengeance might get himself a 3rd place out of this. Oba at this point just has to avoid mistakes and he'll hang on to 2nd. I don't think even with every bit of aggression he's got, he could get 1st at this point. Looks exactly to me like Hines is going to be 1st to Oba's mom's house. Oh no, Harden having a decent race up to that point, and Vengeance now all over him. Look at that. That is a major mistake to make right here at the end. We'll take a look in on Hines, see what he's doing there. You can see there he is through the chicanes, nobody in sight. Slowing down. We'll see what his plan is here. Yep, big old wheelie through the finish line. That is it for him. Meanwhile, Oba popping a wheelie and sliding across the finish line. Dear God. What a comedy of errors. Oh my God. Harden getting himself a third place. Vengeance in fourth, just narrowly missing it. Tried to capitalize on Harden's mistakes, but couldn't quite do it. Kentaw coming in fifth. Reckless managing at the last second to push himself up into sixth. And Solid coming in seventh. So there you go, folks. Hines, Oba, Harden, Vengeance, Kentaw, Solid, and Reckless. That'll be your standings for GP for the evening on PS4 at Assen. Thanks for watching. Appreciate all the racing. It was fun to watch. Appreciate everybody watching. And y'all have a good night, and we will see you next week.